Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Greg Silberman here, Chief Investment Officer, Chief Financial Officer. Only kidding. So we curate a lot of articles on my social media platforms, networks, and we judge which ones do well, and then we do it in a come learn with me. Most of the articles that you see me publishing are investment related. I track a number of, let's say, niche investment themes, stuff like crypto, cannabis, turnaround, restructuring. You take a look. There's a link down below to some LinkedIn groups. Please join those. And this article came up. Also, one area we like to look at besides investments is mass psychology or psychology, feeling like the market is driven much more by psychology than people recognize. All right, the reality of a creative mind. Originality is not a requirement for creativity. All right. We often make mistakes of assuming that creative ideas are always original ideas. Creativity is quite often a combination of two old ideas. They call it idea sex, I've heard it called. One is creativity can be enhanced by linking two or more disparate concepts. One of the most persistent myths is that a creative idea is a totally original idea. That is, to be creative, one must be able to create ideas that have never been thought of before, ideas that have never existed before, absolutely original. The truth is that most innovative ideas are not original ideas. In most cases, they are simply the combination of previous ideas into a concept or format. It's about making connections with stuff that's already there. Steve Jobs, fan of Apple, brought this all into perspective when he said, creativity is just connecting things. When you ask creative people how they did something, they feel a little guilty because they really didn't do it. They just saw something. It seemed obvious to them after a while. That's because they were able to connect experiences they've had and synthesize new things. And the reason they were able to do that was that they have had more experience or that they have thought more about the experiences than any other people. One of the most oft-cited cases of creativity centers around Johannes Gutenberg, who in 1450 combined the wine press and the coin punch to create movable type and the printing press. Movable metal pieces allowed pages to be printed much more quickly than the standard wooden blocks used to press ink onto paper. His combination of pre-existing technologies created printing presses that could print thousands of pages a day. This revolution allowed books to be printed more quickly and more efficiently, allowing the middle class to obtain them as never before. The result was the rapid spread of knowledge across the European continent. That intellectual revolution came about due in large measure to the combination of two previous and seemingly unconnected ideas, a wine press and a coin pouch. Creative combination. Ancient Greeks were also aware of the power of creative combination. For example, it was the Greeks who combined soft copper with soft tin to create hard bronze at their most basic level. Gutenberg's printing press and the creation of bronze was simply a combination of already existing ideas. History also records these interesting combinations of pre-existing concepts. Copier plus telephone, fax machine, bell plus clock, alarm clock, trolley plus suitcase with wheels, igloo plus hotel, ice palace, mathematics plus biology, laws of heredity. God, I don't know that. We like to believe that creativity is a result of a determined focus and solo entrepreneur who, through a flash of inspiration, solves a problem for the betterment of humankind. It's a great plot line for a TV special, but it ignores the basic fact of life about the stories of most innovations. They rarely include the human networks that sustain and make possible radical new ideas or changes. In fact, history is frequently edited in order to recognize a solo genius or innovator. Phil McKinney, host of the nationally syndicated radio show Killer Innovations, puts it this way. We have a saying in the innovation industry, there's no such thing as any of the creative ideas that lead to creating great companies with the results of a team. Some examples, Microsoft, Intel, Google, Skype, and many more. We continue to think that to be creative is to have frequently blocked us whenever we are faced with a personal challenge or work-related endeavor. To the contrary, however, creativity is not always a series of brilliant new ideas, but often is a result of a lifetime of experiences and diligence in working in combination of those ideas, instead of giving up on them after one or two failures. The myth that every idea must be an idea never considered before in the history of humankind is a significant impediment to our ability to think creatively. Okay, that's very good. I totally concur. I've heard it called idea sex before. Mixing two ideas together. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Come join us for another article. Like and subscribe and take a look at some of the links down below. Greg Silberman, out for now.